Good morning and welcome to another ACY Securities market review. Today we're going to be covering a recap of the dollar-yen trade that I'd placed, an Australian dollar trade that we've placed, and how it played out and what the stop loss could be. We're going to be covering a little bit on gold and a few other things. My name is Alistair Schultz and I'll be your host through your trading journey today. Overnight yesterday, I looked at a couple of different things on the dollar-yen. Now, I did indicate that there was potentially going to be a trade later in the day and that we'd be looking for a double bottom pattern occurring, which has started to play out. Unfortunately, when it occurred, we weren't able to get onto FinLogix, but if you were paying attention yesterday morning, you might have been able to get on this at about 9 p.m. last night. Now, my ideal entry would have been here at 9 p.m, close of our neckline with profit moving up from here. If you're still in it, you're probably about 20 pip up by now. And our target is for a 30 pip movement up here in price. Now, whilst we weren't able to get all the way through it, we are able to look at some other stuff that we did put on. We've had a couple of other trades go through, which would be to your advantage. Now, one of the ones that we did put on FinLogix was a Australian dollar double bottom that I had the other day, and it has played out as we sort of expected. You can see from the video here that's currently running across, we had our neckline broken, price has moved up, and your take profit was hit with about a 42 to 44 pip profit target. It has since come down, but it has played out exactly like we'd hoped. Now, in the reality of it and how I would have done this trade myself, I've marked it up on our MT4 charts as well. So as you can see on the chart behind me now, we've got the Aussie dollar thing that I'd actually set up from my own charts that was placed onto FinLogix. Now, it has played out as we suspect since then, or since take profit and in the last couple of hours. We've seen price sort of struggle along here and then track down. Now, this was the way that I've posted on FinLogix for the benefit of it, and it gives you a hard or a fixed take profit. In the version that I would have preferred to have done, or what I usually like to do, I just thought I'd demonstrate how I've done it in the past. The way that I would have done it would have been, instead of having a fixed take profit, I would have rolled it with a trailing stop. So as we have our entry here and price moves up, we have it come back down to this point, a little bit of resistance, a support line, and then we let it trail on and continue up. If price was to continue in the direction of this arrow, I would have continued to then trail this stop up to the next swing low, until price obviously took me out. In the reality of it and what actually happened, price ended up coming up, going sideways once we had hit our take profit, and then falling back down to about this level here. In other news that has gone on overnight, we've looked at gold. And in this gold chart that I've got up on here, we can see that I've drawn a couple of support lines, and I've focused on these support lines more than others. I'm seeing that it's a bit of a trend channel and that we have some minor levels of support occurring here. But importantly, we've seen that price is being stuck and stagnated around the $1,570, $1,580 mark. Now, there is some speculation that this has been due to the US Fed not placing or considering doing some quantitative easing in future and not conducting further rate cuts. And we've also seen that with the coronavirus and some other political scares going on, that we're seeing a reversal on the safe haven sort of markets or currencies that you would usually consider. So this is kind of pushing away from people being able to get that long positions occurring. But for now, try and focus on the fact that we have some support lines and just be aware of them. Now, for the news, overnight we saw that Fed Chair Powell made a statement. He was meant to make a release at about 2 a.m, but it got pushed forward by about half an hour. In his statement, he spoke about and reiterated his confidence for the economy, but he did make note of his concern over rising debt levels. We've recently seen that the housing market has increased to a $14 trillion debt level, and that has not really been seen before. Now, in addition to that, he feels that quantitative easing could be needed, and that the fact of coronavirus, he believes that we'll start seeing data implications occurring from the coronavirus in the coming weeks. Now, at 6 o'clock this morning, we saw that the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's governor made a statement about low interest rates needing to remain necessary. And it really felt like he was just jawboning to me. He wasn't saying anything real useful. It felt like he was trying to talk the currency back down, especially after we've just recently seen a rise on the New Zealand dollar. For the day ahead, we have the Reserve Bank of Australia's Governor Lowe speaking, the Bank of Canada's Governor Pollard speaking, and we also have US CPI at 12:30 a.m. In the early hours of the morning. Now, on top of that, we've got a few low impact events occurring that are scattered throughout the early hours of Friday, but nothing there that really says to me that we need to keep an eye focused on them, but it is probably good to check the calendar and keep an eye on what is actually happening. Now, if you have any questions on today's content, feel free to send me an email at talktoal@acy.com. And of course, like and subscribe the video so that you can get further content from us in the future. We'll be releasing something probably again later this afternoon, so feel free to tune into that and have a good day with your trading ahead.